super clean.
Dude, look underneath this thing, man.
Look at these huge, look.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are here at the original Goon Squad garage, and today we're gonna continue working on our 2021 Ram TRX here, and we're actually gonna set aside the 67 Camaro there and actually just focus on ripping this sucker clean apart.
Yes, sir.
Dude.
So we're waiting on some major components. That way, whenever we pop that engine out, we actually will place it in there for one last time and not have to pop it out anymore. So that's why we're kind of waiting on a few things here and there. But in the meantime, what we're gonna do is jump on this thing. That way we can start ordering parts for it, dude.
That's right. And this morning we actually ordered parts, around $3,000 worth of parts from the dealership, just like little stuff like this fender, the headlight, and a few other little trim pieces here and there. What we haven't done is ordered the super expensive stuff that racked up to $17,000,
which is the axle, the bed, and the tailgate right there, which is just super crazy, and that's well over our budget. So that's why we're here today, and we're about to tear this thing apart. That way we can pop that axle out, take it to a few axle shops, maybe get that thing repaired, which that will save us a ton of money. If not, we're gonna have to locate an axle housing. We know we can get a whole axle for $7,000, but that's way over budget, dude.
Yeah, I think if we find an axle shop that can repair that, that'll drop it down to like 1,500 bucks. That's the give or take price, I'm guessing.
Anything better than $7 grand, dude.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? The main reason I'm here today is to fight this sucker and also tear this sucker apart and also show you guys if there's any crazy technology maybe within it. We share that with you.
Who knows? But main thing is to rip it completely apart. Maybe we have a little bit more parts here. Hopefully nothing too expensive. That way we can go ahead and have everything in. Whenever we're working on the Camaro, we're gonna have all the parts coming in, and then that way we can start throwing this thing together and repairing it. Plans, guys. I think we're gonna save this bed after all, dude.
Come look at this. We ended up hitting this sucker with the excavator a couple times, and we got this thing looking almost over.
Dude, that thing is straight as an arrow right there after we did that backbreaker, and then after that, I think both of us ran up here, and what you call that, a frog splash on that, dude? Just
look,
straighten it out, man.
Dude, that frog splash right there almost ended this thing.
Dude, all we need to do is straighten that end part out right there in the middle. What you think that'll straighten out right there,
I
dude?
had to hit that sucker with the Cobra clutch from underneath,
dude. Honestly, this bed is about 95% done right there. A few more neck busters right there, or brain busters, and you get that thing on perfect. The other 5%.
We got to wrestle this thing because we got to be real careful because that side over there is still good. Which the excavator, you were being real good with it, real careful.
Couple love taps here and there to straighten it out. But mainly, we're doing all the wrestling moves on this thing to get it as straight as possible. And dude, I'm telling you, somebody could have did this and put it up on the auction and got a couple more thousand out of it, dude.
Believe it or not, some people do that, so you got to be real careful with that. That's why we only buy from insurance companies.
Yeah, so that's a little tip right there. Make sure the insurance selling it because somebody could have did some wrestling moves on it, dude.
I'm telling you right there, that excavator though right there ain't doing too much. It just came in for backup.
Just a little backup. But you know what? The main thing why we straightened it out as best as possible, because this ain't a normal bed. It doesn't get bolted on from the top where you can just pop it off easily. We got to go up under there and spin some of those bolts out and pop this thing out like that.
Yep, but before we do that, I see some smoke in the background over there. I see Mom and Pop over there, and I think they're cooking something delicious. right, so check this out, guys. Bed has been popped off, and I gotta say, that looks pretty dang cool right there. Almost looks like it has a flat bed on it, but all you see is like a bunch of exposed stuff. Put your hand in front of the camera and make it look like a flat bed.
Flat bed.
Looks good, don't it, right there? But we wouldn't do a regular flat bed on it. We'd probably do like an overland flat bed if we can't find an original bed. Original bed is gonna probably be the best option, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Unless you like build like a super custom aluminum overlander with like drawers pulled out and stuff like that, that would look pretty epic, dude.
The most important thing is you need a bunch of travel, so the overland bed is going to allow that to happen. But you know what, we're going to look for the OEM one. That's the last resort flatbed. But anyways, the most important thing that we're looking at is these frame rails right here. They are basically railroad tracks right here. I mean, you could put that in front of a train and it'll just hop right on it.
Dude, that is straight as an arrow right there, dude.
Perfect, man, because on the original listing, we were looking at it and we were like, dang, we're going to have to replace this whole entire frame. But look at that, dude. It's perfect. We don't got to touch none of that. There was some sort of broken bracket right here. I think it was like a extra attachment for like a
It was like an accessory right there for like, I think a step that pops out that Dodge offers, which that was pretty cool. We may have to get one, dude.
You know, we're going to probably install like some sort of fishing pole holder or something like that,
or a little
dude.
seat that pops out,
a little
dude.
seat you can just sit down and chill. But another cool thing that we noticed is this like third shock over here. This right here, I believe, is called the donut shock right here. This allows it to do donuts and not like wheel hop all the time or something like that.
A burnout shock or something like that. But that is pretty cool. That's the first time I ever seen that. It probably just keeps this axle planted to the ground with all that horsepower, dude.
Exactly. And also this shock right here is perfect. This whole entire side is perfect. But as for this shock over here, it just got a little scuffed up and the bracket just broke right there. But it's awesome that this thing is not damaged at all other than the scratches, because this looks expensive. Look at that. Bilstein Black Hawk E2 dual valve off-road technology. Expensive.
That just sounds expensive right there, dude.
Yeah, so that's awesome right there. I can't wait to actually test those shocks out and all that good stuff. And also another damaged thing is this exhaust, which we're gonna have to reuse that exhaust because nobody makes exhaust for this TRX just yet. So what we're gonna do is just cut off the cats and install some dogs and make this thing absolutely rip. And another thing that I noticed is like some sort of screen right here. I believe that prevents it from like snap, crackling, and popping. So we'll have to weld that shut. And I think it'll just shoot flame balls.
Dude,
man.
we're just gonna have to custom this exhaust into our own liking. That way it sounds a lot meaner, dude.
I can't wait to get to any of that right there. But anyways, as of right now, we're gonna keep on moving, lift this sucker up with the excavator or something once again, and try to end up popping off this axle. That way we can take it to the axle guy and see if he freaks out or stays calm. Alrighty guys, so it is actually the next day here and I actually lost my hat. But anyways, we finally got this whole entire axle popped out and look at this sucker. It looks absolutely beefy. It is nice and thick. Almost looks like a 3500, a Dodge 2500 axle right there. That thing is pretty dang like beefed
It
up,
might be
dude.
from one of those trucks because who knows? I mean, this thing is a pretty strong truck with all that horsepower, but the only thing that's different is probably the gear ratio, you know?
That's right, and the gear ratio is in here and it's good. And also this whole entire side right here is good as well. The only side that's damaged is just this tube right here, which I'm thinking if you take this to an axle shaft and you throw it,
Yeah,
shaft.
you can call it axle shaft.
Not a shaft. You take it, it's early in the morning. But anyway, you take this to the axle shop, they could throw it on a jig and possibly straighten that sucker out, or we can just let Thomas take care of it and he'll just start
Thomas the
clawing it.
technician, man.
Thomas the tech. But honestly, I think all we're gonna need is actually a new axle shaft right here.
Tube.
And a tube. We're definitely going to need a new axle shaft. But yeah, the tube might be able to get saved. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully they can straighten it out, because I think from the dealership, those tubes are kind of hard to get, dude.
Exactly. Maybe it'll work off of a different truck. Like I'm thinking of a different 1500 truck as well. So
yeah, probably. Maybe like a Rebel axle or something like that. Yeah. Probably the same,
exactly.
Dude.
So we were going to take it to an axle shop yesterday, but it was a little bit too late. And this morning it's Saturday, so nobody's open. I don't know why axle shops are not open today, because this is when people break their axles, on Saturdays.
On Saturdays, dude. So that's like the main purpose of axle shop, is open on Saturdays,
open on
dude.
Saturdays. But anyways, we'll find another day to take that to see if we can get that sucker fixed up. What we're going to do right now is show you guys some more stuff that we popped off on this rear end. Look at this, dude. Look at these beefy shocks right here, dude. These are just crazy looking now that we removed them.
Dude, those things are beef. And look at this little like thing on here. Look, Bilstein TRX. That just looks sick, dude.
Made specifically for TRX, so that is super awesome right there. Of course, we popped off that drive shaft, the control arms. Look, we got a damaged control arm right here. So I wonder if we can go like aftermarket, or should we just end up getting original ones?
I mean, look at those. They try to make it look like an aftermarket control arm with these little things right here, indentions. Imagine like some billet aluminum ones, dude. That would look sick. Or just some steel ones, dude.
That would be awesome. Definitely gonna look into that. But that's pretty much it for the rear end. We're about to test drive this sucker, right?
Yeah, we're gonna hover the rear end off the ground.
There's actually a way we could do this. Like, you know the forklifts that have one wheel in the back?
What if we make this a 3-wheeler truck, dude?
We could end up actually somehow popping on one wheel right here and just mounting something up just to test drive this thing. That'd be cool. But
who knows?
But there's more.
One thing is our steering is not working right now,
That's
dude.
right. So that's exactly what we're gonna work on right now, and probably go ahead and start ripping apart this front end as well. Pop off this fender, a few front end components here, and eventually make our way to the steering components, and hopefully get this sucker steering and turning.
No! Ну да, а ну. Nice, я люблю таких.
Good?
Вкусно.
I can smell that from here.
Дарей, она не пекучая. Она кисленькая.
Oh my goodness. So we just got done doing a bunch of progress at TRX over there, tearing that whole entire thing apart. We got some awesome things that we want to share with you guys, but we got a little thirsty. We went up to the corner market, we bought some drinks, and also you noticed 2 like pickled eggs.
Yeah, pickled eggs in a little wrapper, and I was like, I've never really seen something like that. I've seen pickled eggs in jars, but not in little wrappers in the front desk of a store. So I just wanted to buy some, dude.
He's trying to kill us. Man, he loves them.
I love this.
Oh goodness,
Yeah.
it was like weird, bitter, sour taste. Oh god.
It reminded me of like cooked livers or something. You know, like
I
chicken livers?
don't know. That was just a pretty bad taste. I don't know. If it was a spicy taste, I think it would have been pretty good. But the sour
I mean,
taste,
I'll eat like a regular boiled egg.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good, but that right there, I don't
that was
how do
something
you do
else,
it?
man.
I like it different. Mom made this one day.
She made it, yeah. She
Yeah.
pickled some eggs, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe the
It's
gas
very
station
good.
stuff is different.
That's
dude.
something, I don't know,
Yeah.
man. It was red. What the heck?
I don't know. How do they turn it red?
Uh,
Food coloring?
I don't know. Look like pepper.
Pepper, maybe some peppers in it, yeah. But anyways, we're gonna keep on moving with that TRX.
Oh, we need to jump up there and show them all the epic stuff that's
yeah,
going on.
let's
up
go ahead
there.
and hop over there and we'll show you guys exactly what the awesomeness is. All right, so check this out, guys. We tore apart this whole entire front end now, didn't we, dude?
It's all on the floor right here, and I mean, this is just crazy looking at it from this angle, dude. Whenever we popped off that bumper, which was pretty difficult to get off, it looked already like better with just no bumper on it, dude.
I know, so we're definitely gonna have to go with the aftermarket that kind of looks like it has more clearance up front, makes it look so much more aggressive.
More Baja style, what this truck really needs, because that front bumper is almost like the exact one on the Rebel. So we want this thing to stand out, especially with like this mean aggressive front end. It's gonna look super
Yes,
good,
sir.
dude.
And of course, we popped off some trim pieces off the engine bay, and we found a little Easter egg, the T-Rex right there,
eating a Raptor,
eating
dude.
a Raptor. But we'll see about all
We'll
that.
put that to the test. So head-to-head, pull test, whatever test we want to do, jump test, we'll see what that's all about right there. I mean, that may be true right there, dude.
I think it might be true too, but you know what? That Raptor has a little bit of pep to it as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, what else did we notice in this engine bay area, dude?
Dude, we noticed that nothing else is damaged here. So everything was just like external damage. So no frame damage whatsoever to these aprons or anything. There is one little bracket that's bent right here, but we can just straighten that out back in its original spot. I think that just holds the fender. And look at these frame rails as well, dude. These
What?
suckers are like sideways,
It's like
dude.
a Y-shaped. It goes out like that.
They're already pre-bent for you, dude.
That's pretty cool. But anyways, over in this wheel well area, look at those headers right there.
Dude, that is not even headers. Like, that's just like a straight
Looks-
tube, probably where all the exhaust gases just go directly in like one tube or
It
something
looks like they
that.
just took like a vacuum cleaner tip and slapped it on there. But you know why they have to do that? For clearance purposes,
Yeah, definitely.
right?
I mean, they are putting a Hellcat engine inside some frame rails, like the Trackhawk and the Challenger. They're just putting it on a subframe, so you can easily put some long tube headers on it. But on this thing, they had to make it fit, so that's why this thing doesn't sound as good as those other
Yeah,
cars.
dude, it would be so awesome to throw on some aftermarket headers on there if that's possible. But I think as right now, we just work with like a straight pipe.
I think it's a little too tight. We'll figure out our exhaust a little bit later on, and definitely probably going to do a cold air on this thing, because this huge air cleaner right here, I know it does that little ram airflow thing from the hood, but who needs all that when it sounds good, dude?
Dude, it needs to sound way better than that. And this Hellcat engine produces the best wine of all the engines, I think, dude.
And 100%, dude. The Trackhawk sounds amazing with the cold air, and we definitely want to throw one on here. I know there's a few companies out there that actually make one, so we're definitely going to have to get one for this thing. But otherwise, dude, this whole front end is just pristine, super
Dude,
clean.
look underneath this thing, man.
Look at these huge, look where they put these things,
That's
dude.
so cool. But look how clean it is overall under here for 3,000 miles.
That engine is just not one grime on there, dude. It is like
awesome.
pristine, which is just amazing. I mean, after all, it is a 2021, but you know what? It's just cool to see sometimes, because we're used to some dirty stuff, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But anyways, this stuff is a little bit changed up, like the coolers or whatnot. We're not too worried about any of that stuff. It's
Yep.
just basic stuff to keep stuff cool and working properly. But
Yeah.
there is one thing that we haven't figured out 100%, and that's the steering issue,
Yeah,
right?
so our steering wheel can spin freely right now, and we're trying to figure out why. So we looked down here after we took the fender off, and we looked at the steering column right here, and dude, this thing is actually
good right
intact.
there,
So
yep.
everything is intact here. So it makes me wonder what's going on in the steering wheel. Maybe a bolt broke off in the steering wheel. Somebody like turned it too hard, or something just happened.
Somebody just whipped it.
Yeah, whipped it. So what I'm thinking is we got to pull that steering wheel off, just check everything out, and see if we can locate why this thing ain't turning.
Check this out, guys. So we're gonna have to run this steering wheel right here for now, because we got a pretty big issue on our hands as you can tell, this sucker right here is just spinning freely, and it's not supposed to do that. So something within this area right here, so like this middle shaft that connects to the steering wheel, something in there is broken or disconnected. I don't know how that happened because you can't see anything broken, but yet it's moving freely. And basically this person lost steering, you know what I mean?
I don't know if it happened during the accident or that's why
the
it went.
accident
Yeah,
happened?
that's crazy because that's not really supposed to happen, because this is not something that's been smashed in the front or the airbags blew out or anything like that. It's just like, is this a flaw? Is this something that they're going to
defect?
recall
A
or
fact-
something like
dude,
that?
That's something that we should look into right there for sure. But other than that, we're definitely gonna probably have to buy that whole entire centerpiece, or we might have to just take it apart and see what's going on there. But that's just gonna be pretty much a wrap for today's video. As you can tell, we basically ripped off all the damaged parts on this thing. We are ordering so much parts, so this thing is about to be super epic. We're about to start digging in a little bit more because we got this cab that's damaged right there. But you know what? You guys are gonna have to stay tuned for the next one. Make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything. And also, if you want an inside scoop before YouTube, definitely give us a follow on Instagram at goonzquad. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.